Hi everyone, this is Jessica with Whispers of Grace. I am here today to do a class for trusting the universe and how we can get out of our own way. So I'm going to take a few minutes for people to join in so I can share this. And I ask that you please share this as well if anyone needs to hear it. So give me 1 second. Trying to get my shit together, y'all. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining. I figured I would do this on YouTube because I have so many more followers on here, and versus Facebook, I might have like 6 people join and I already have almost 10. So I want y'all to experience this with me as well, okay? So thank you so much. I was just talking to my guides and telling them just how grateful I am to be doing this. And this is my passion. And I love y'all so much. And just know, like, if anyone needs to see this, please share because I really feel like Spirit's going to come through extra strong for y'all today. And we have a lot of good messages that need to come out for you, okay? And the whole point of this class is, I asked my guides, what does everyone need to hear? Like, what are things that you want me to focus on? And this was one of them, and how to trust the universe. So what they want us to do today is bring awareness to how much we actually trust our journey, trusting in the universe, trusting in spirit, and trusting ourselves. So we're going to be taking a journey today together and breaking free of doubt and embracing our journey with open arms. That is what they want us to focus on today. So, hi, April. Hi, Tommy, Mark, Carl. Yes. Oh, gosh. I love y'all so much. Like, you have no idea. The support that I get from the YouTube community doing this stuff, and I've had a lot of people say that I'm the underdog, and I just like keeping it real with everyone because I don't sugarcoat shit for anyone in my life, so I'm not going to do it for my clients either, because I feel that the more real I am with y'all, the more you really get to see who I am. And I don't like people sugarcoating. I like being truthful in every way. So I love that I'm allowed to go on a journey with y'all every single day. Like, even if I'm not on YouTube all the time, like, there's so many people that I'm working with and that are watching me go through my process, and I'm watching y'all go through yours. And I can't tell you how much I truly, truly enjoy doing this with y'all. And I will let you know, I'm going to give it a few more minutes just to let a couple more people join in before I start. But I will let y'all know that next month I will be moving. So I know that I need to catch up. I've been so busy, y'all. And so please be patient with me. And when I move next month, it's going to be a little crazy. But once I get settled, I'm telling y'all, like, y'all are going to be my main focus. Okay. And I have so many more things planned for Whispers of Grace, and it is going to be amazing. So just please be patient with me and don't give up. Okay. Because good things are coming for everyone. So, all right. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, Spirit's super excited, by the way. Oh, gosh. Seriously, y'all. And just know that these classes that I'm doing, my guides really want me to, on an educational level, they want me to do these for free. So just remember that I am trying to make a living, y'all. If you feel compelled to donate to this channel to support what I'm doing and the cause in general, there is the donation link down in the description box. So please, whatever amount, I appreciate anything. So just know these are for free, but again, help a sister out. So, all right, trust. I'm kind of curious because I feel that trust to everyone means something different. I think a lot of us have trust issues in general in life, whether it be with family, friends, connections, with trusting in our path and what we actually want to do. Some of us can't even trust our own decision-making process. So I'm kind of curious, and I want y'all to interact with me, okay? What does trust mean to you? And how hard is it for you to trust? Now, whether that's with relationships or, what's the first feeling that comes to mind when you hear trust? And that's what I want to bring awareness to, because most of us aren't even in touch with how our body reacts to energy. Okay. When I hear trust, it's a lot different than what I used to feel even a year ago. Okay. And you're right, Paul. It's total surrender. So exactly. And that's what I'm saying. There's no wrong answer, y'all. Okay. Because it just shows where we're at on our journey. Yes. Yes. Keep going, y'all. Sorry, Tommy. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Tommy, you are so right. And this is the point that I want to bring up today. And all of y'all are bringing up great things. And it just shows where everyone's at, okay? So the thing with this, y'all, is when we have not surrendered to the universe, we are actually standing in our own way of bringing abundance, bringing happiness, because we're focused on something that either has happened that we can't control or something that hasn't happened and we can't control. When we stay in this moment and listen, it's okay. We all have to start somewhere. And the fact that you are here today just says that you're ready to bring that awareness to your life and start making the necessary changes, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. That is actually beautiful. So thank you for joining us today and allowing me to be a part of your journey, because listen, I was right there with you. I actually do not, and this is the thing, putting trust in people is a lot harder for me than putting trust in spirit, because, and I fought them for a long time, okay? Yes, and that's the thing. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all, like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna be real, because my guides put me through quite a bit, and this was part of my contract. I agreed to do this so I can help y'all. Okay, this is my purpose in life. So I actually have a really hard time trusting people, and there are people that I have trusted more, and there are people who have completely lost my trust, and that's okay. It just means that we didn't align anymore, and those people weren't meant to be in my life, and I'm okay with that now, because I know now that by releasing that, which I'm a Taurus, I will hold on for dear life, okay? Yeah, it's being a Taurus, especially being very emotionally connected to people, it's really hard to let go, okay? And I was one of those people, even with friends, family members, like, I would be hanging on by a thread. And this is where the unhealthy attachments come from. So attached to wanting things or people in our life that even if we know they are not good for us, we just want them there. Taurus, here's my pinnacle. I mean, we will give and give and give until there's nothing left of us to give, okay? And I know a lot of people, especially on an empathic level, are like that in general. So it comes to the point where, I mean, I'll be straight up with people, even the people I trust most in my life. I don't trust 100% in anyone because we're all human. I cannot say that you're never going to disappoint me. I can't say that you're never going to let me down or we're going to agree all the time. That's stupid. But when it comes to spirit, and let me tell you, when I started going through my awakening process, there was a lot of shifts happening in my life. I was at a job that I had a love-hate relationship with. I've always been a very creative person, so I've been in the hair industry for, let's see, 12 years now, and I've tried to leave many times and just could never get out of it because I want to make people feel better and look better. And that always seemed to brighten people up. And I always had a way of being able to talk to people. Everyone felt better after talking to Jessica. Well, it got draining. And, you know, it's hard on the body. It's very dramatic. I was miserable. And you know, it had me so distracted that I didn't even realize that there were other issues in my life, that I wasn't whole, that I wasn't really happy, I was content, that I didn't do the necessary work, and that I was not connected to my guides or the universe in general. I was totally disconnected. I had no idea what the universe has in store for me, okay? So when I started going through my process, and of course, you know, as being a medium, I was having all these crazy things happen, all these shifts happening. As soon as I left that job, like I was out of a job for 3 months trying to find a desk job because at the time I was married and three stepkids and I had to provide. Like, I mean, it was like, okay, well, what's secure? Well, everyone thinks a 9 to 5 is secure. And you know what? I wouldn't have been happy doing it. Well, the universe provided me an opportunity to still do hair, but it gave me the opportunity to work for myself, realize I actually like working for myself, and gave me the opportunity to start digging more into my spiritual growth. Well, then all these other crazy things start happening, and I'm actually having to trust the voices that I'm hearing, the feelings that I'm getting, the opportunities laying in my lap. How hard is it for us to say, "Oh, this is an opportunity to change. Let's go for it." Yeah, doesn't happen. We don't like change. So I am one of those people that if I put my heart and soul into something, I want to know that it's going to work out. So exactly, it is something serious. And now I look at it like I wouldn't know what to do without change, without my guides, without this beautiful, I mean, and listen, y'all, my life is not perfect by any means. I'm going to be honest with you. I am in between homes. I am going through a divorce and I lost a ton of friends for whatever reason. It's it's going to be okay though. Like I can honestly say, and honestly, it was so bad for a few months, but it made me dig deep. It gave me the opportunity to get away from a toxic situation, to start to see things clearly and understand who I am on a personal level. Who is Jessica and how do I feel? What do I have in store for me? Because I don't want this to be my reality. I'm tired of going through the same thing. I'm tired of being let down and not knowing who I am. Well, and that is why I preach all the time about filling your own cup, because people are so attached to unhealthy situations and hoping that they'll change, but you're not willing to change yourself. That is where the trust in the universe comes from, okay? So it's not easy. But what you have to understand is that with change comes new opportunities. And if we don't change, we're going to keep going through the same things over and over again and still feel helpless. We feel lost because we are not connected to the universe. And some of us are more connected in a sense that we can trust our intuition. We have that strong gut instinct. But sometimes we still question ourselves because we believe what other people say. Well, people lie, spirit doesn't. So, what we have to understand is anything that we go through is for our highest good, whether it be good or bad, because sometimes we need a wake up call, and that is what the awakening is about. Okay. So if we do not accept our awakening and we do not trust that the opportunities for change are going to happen, and the more that we fight the current, the worse it gets. So I want you to ask yourself, what's the first thing that pops up into your head when you hear trust? Is it trust in your own plan? Is it your trusting your instincts? Is it trusting relationships? Yes, exactly, April. It happens for you. And that's what, and I used to be one of those people that think life happens to people, that shit happens and, there's nothing you can do about it. And you just try to do your best every day. And in a sense, yes. But until I surrendered, and listen, I remember the first time I surrendered and I still didn't listen, y'all. I was stubborn as hell, and that's Taurus for you. It takes a long time to trust it, but yeah, and trust in friends. And that's the thing too. Like, we have to ask ourselves, okay? And it all comes down to trust. Like, ego is just straight fear. Any negative emotion you have is based around fear of some sort. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of it falling down and you being let down once again. It's all fear. But again, you can't judge other people, new people in your life based on what has happened in the past. You have to be able to trust your instincts and trust your guides that whatever they lay in your life is for your highest good. And if it doesn't feel right, it's not right. And you have to know yourself on a strong, eternal level in order to know what is going to align with you or not. And it's okay to say that it doesn't. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. I think about people from my past, that people I was so scared to let go of. And I can't even imagine what my life would be like if those assholes were still here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to get to a point where we are willing to let things go in order for new things to come in. We go through shifts all the time. Those people were there for a reason. I've met several people since my separation and going through, this process. And a lot of people say, you glow, that you have this light about you. And a lot of people who are scared to be vulnerable or, have these issues that they haven't quite dealt with, they just feel like they can speak whatever it is that's on their mind because when they get around me, it's like all of their dark secrets that they're scared to face come to the surface. But that's because there needs to be healing. And we have to understand that if we're not grounding ourselves and we're not, staying in tune with ourselves, that we're not picking up on other people's energy. And I really, even myself, I was doing that. I was picking up on other people's energy. When I was staying in a neutral vibration, I was very aware of how I was feeling and, the energy that was going around, but I wasn't involved in it to the point that I couldn't control it. And then I had someone say, "Oh, well, don't you think you're being a little rough?" I let my guard down for like 2 seconds, and all of a sudden I'm like all up in the clouds. The problem is when you get so high up in the clouds, you're not here in the 3D existence. You're in the clouds. So you're not seeing things clearly that your normal intuition would be picking up on. And that's why it's important for us to stay grounded. But we also have to be able to say that when these opportunities arise, are you going to let fear, fear of whatever it may be, maybe fear that this person's actually going to work out, or this person might actually be good for you, or they might just be like everyone else. That's a lot of what ifs, y'all. So why is it so hard for us to be in the present moment, to be connected to ourselves and the universe, to say, hey, I'm having fun with this person for a day. What tomorrow will bring, I have no idea, but I'm okay with that. And I've realized the more that I stay in that frequency, the more I actually have fun on the more I feel free is the one thing that keeps coming up for me. I keep asking myself, what do I want to feel? And I want to feel free. I am tired of the feeling bound by certain people or situations and not having the universe propel me into what is meant for me. My fear was holding me back from my true purpose because I didn't believe in myself, putting me down the majority of my life, that I didn't have self-confidence. I was a weak-minded individual. Even if I did have a good head on my shoulders, the way that I perceived myself, I was not worthy. I wasn't worthy of success. I wasn't worthy of having a business that I could run myself and be successful at. I wasn't worthy of having a healthy relationship to the point that I kept settling and ignoring the red flags when they were there. So then it gets to the point that I actually have to wake up. There are patterns that I keep doing that are not serving me. Well, what's the common denominator? Me. You. You are the common denominator. So when you ask yourself, why do I keep going through this? Why can't I feel this way? It's because, in a sense, you're standing in your own way and you are fighting the current. So when these opportunities arise, you need to look at them with courage and grace and say, I see you and I'm not fearful. Whatever will come of it will come of it. If it stays for a day, if it stays for 10 years, I will embrace this moment every single day until it no longer serves me. Okay? When the road starts to seem dark, you need to take a different route. But when you live in fear, you're not seeing the bigger picture because you're staying in a low vibration. And that's why it's so important for us to inspire each other, to be there for each other and not judge, but to say, hey, listen, there is no judgment from over here. It's just you don't fit in my life and what I'm trying to do. And if we were to keep everything and everyone, there'd be no room. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to align with what our soul wants to do at this certain point in time. It will lead to something bigger down the road, but even that can change based on our decisions every day. Do you want to live in fear, or do you want to surrender and trust that the universe has a bigger picture for you? Can you let your guard down just enough to say, hey, I'm willing to feel into this situation and see where it takes me? And that's what we have to do. It's completely surrendering to the universe and understanding that when we are connected to them, yeah. And that's because, you know what? Listen, there are changes every day. I learn something new about myself every day. Since I have surrendered, it's, it's getting to the point now that when I learn, something new about myself, I'm just like, oh, okay, well, you know what? I'm not even going to feel bad that I have flaws because everyone's got them, but I'm aware. And that's the thing. We have to be aware of ourselves. And I think that's one of the hardest things to do, is to be aware of what's actually happening, what we are doing, take responsibility for our actions and our choices, and to say, okay, well, maybe that wasn't the best decision, but I learned, and I'm not going to make that same decision again. So it is. Self-awareness is everything. And it is. Not only being self-aware, but being patient with ourselves. Because a lot of us are so scared to face the darkness, but the darkness is what makes us grow. It makes us understand that, you know, through all the conditioning that we experience in our lives, that we are actually living other people's realities. We are living what everyone else thinks we should be. And therefore, we actually change ourselves in a sense that we're not even really who we are. So once you become self-aware and you're like, oh, well, okay, this pattern, I do this because of this person. Well, that habit, I mean, I remember when that started, and once you dig more into it and find out where your patterns and your habits actually started, what caused them, then you would understand that the reason we do these things is because of conditioning. It's because someone made us feel a certain way and it triggered something, so we didn't do that anymore because we felt it was wrong. But I think we all pretty much have a good sense of what is right and wrong. And if it's wrong, you're going to feel guilty about it. Even on, I mean, I would like to say that even people who have like narcissistic traits know that they're doing wrong, they just don't care. So there's still a sense of right and wrong for everyone. But what is right and wrong can mean so many different things to other people. And that's why we have that free will to be who we are. And we don't know what everyone else has been through. We all have a story. We all have baggage, y'all. And I feel that the more we become self-aware and patient with our journey and actually taking that time to figure out who we are, then we end up trusting in the universe more, because then we understand that, well, if they really want what's best for us, and I have done this, and this more than once, why can't I love myself the way they do? Why can't I believe in my purpose the way they do? And that's the difference. We need to quit looking for validation from other people. Start giving ourselves the validation and getting it from them, because they love us no matter what. No matter what we do. And no matter how many times we may stray from our path and we do certain things that we're not really proud of, they're always going to try and realign us with our purpose. That is what love is. That is unconditional love. So please give that to yourself today. Understand it's okay to have flaws, it's okay to have baggage, but be aware of what it is and why it's so hard for you to trust yourself to be the authentic you. Okay, that's all they want. When you are your authentic self, you are aligned with your path. When you have no problem saying, this is who I am and this is what I'm going to accomplish and this is how I want to treat people and be treated, then you're automatically coming up to a higher vibration and you're allowing the universe to start working in your favor because you're having fun. You are free from the confines of what society thinks you should be. Yes, and it's beautiful. And I mean, I think everyone should take a journey to find their authentic self because I truly, like I said, I learn something new about myself every single day. And some of it's not so pretty, but you know what? I've learned through my meditation and communicating with spirit that a lot of it has to do with past lives and karmic vows and stuff like that. Um, and just waking up in general, there's some times that I get disconnected again that they'll throw things in my face and make me realign. They always bring me back to what my purpose is, and this is it. Okay. Um, there's nothing easy about shadow work, y'all. I'm going to say that right now. There's so many people on YouTube, and I'm not judging the low vibrational people like let go of what and I don't have any opportunities coming my way. When you are in a low vibration and you think that this is just how life is and this is your reality, that is exactly what you're going to get. If you are living in pity mode, if you're feeling sorry for yourself and think that everything that's happened to you is just because life hates you. No, it's because you don't have that worth within yourself to see yourself with loving eyes and to understand that the situations that did not go your way was for your highest good, and maybe you should get out of your own way. Maybe you have work to do before the opportunities come in. And this is not one of those things be like, oh yeah, I have baggage, like, okay, bring me new things. No, you have to do the work. You have to figure out who you are, love yourself, and quit giving your energy, your soul to everyone and expecting it in return, okay? When you give yourself that love, then you know who is going to be there for you and who is not. Because when you actually respect yourself, you will align yourself with people who respect you too. You see what I'm saying? And if you give yourself that energy, that is exactly what you're going to attract. I have noticed that since I started doing this work, since I started loving myself truly for who I am and knowing where my boundaries are, and I find new boundaries all the time. Like, okay, well, I was a little flexible with this, but no, this one's firm. This is, I know what I have my mind set on and what I want to go after, and it's so clear to me. So this is what I'm focusing on. I don't have time for anything else. And like I said, I'm not afraid of meeting new people. I meet new people every day. I am very social, I am very loving, and I want to communicate with people because this is what I'm meant to do. I am here to inspire and uplift people to be the best version of themselves, to see themselves. I was one of those people that I couldn't even look myself in the mirror. And now I see myself in the mirror and I'm like, I am a confident being. I love myself for everything that I am. And do I have more work? Absolutely. But I'm willing to go on this journey because I know when I get to the end of my road and they call my soul home, I am going to be right where I need to be. So that is where trust comes in. That is where we need to believe that we are deserving, that we deserve to give ourselves love, that we deserve love in return, that we deserve the abundance from the universe, and to give ourselves that opportunity for them to work in our favor. So that's the thing. Like, so many people ask me, well, how do I do this? I can't tell you how. All I can do is give you the tools that I'm giving you, bringing that awareness and telling you to dig in deep, to do the soul searching that needs to happen, figure out what it is, and take that active step to figuring out your authentic self and give yourself that love, to get connected to the universe, to understand that it's trying to work in your favor. But if you are living in fear, you are holding yourself back, okay? Because you are limitless, absolutely limitless. The only thing that is limiting us is ourselves and our beliefs, okay? We can do anything. So, um, it is one of those things where, I think back to all the signs and synchronicities growing up and realizing that I've had this ability my entire life. The things that I have been drawn to, the things that even collecting as a child, I've always been drawn to the supernatural, to even stories about witches and angels and fairies and just the metaphysical world in general. I remember feeling that there were certain people I did or did not want to be around, that in certain houses, my dad's house in McClellanville was haunted. And, I could sense spirit even then. I remember as early as elementary school hearing voices in the middle of the night, waking me up out of a dead sleep, and could not figure out what it was. Everyone told me it was not real. So over time and over certain traumatic events in my life, I end up shutting it off. Okay, I did. I completely shut it down. And what happened was those were the darkest days of my life. I was so disconnected from the universe and from my true self that I was depressed. I had anxiety. I developed heart problems by the time I was 20. It created so many physical ailments that pretty much from 20 to 30, I was sick. I was sick for almost a decade. And now, since I've started doing this work, I'm off my medicine. I don't have to go to my doctors all the time. I actually feel good and I'm taking care of myself and I feel happy even with all these changes happening in my life because for once I've allowed myself to go with the flow. So that just shows you, I mean, and seriously, y'all see how I am. Like, I'm a loving person. I'm very outgoing. I like to talk shit and I like to communicate and spread that love because we all need it. Most people wouldn't even know that at one time, actually multiple times in this dark period of my life, that I didn't want to be here. I didn't think I had a purpose, that, well, everyone seems to hate me and tell me that I'm not good enough, so why am I even here? if I would have given up, and I'm telling y'all, I remember hearing his words, get up. It's going to be better than this. Okay. So in that moment, and I thank him for it all the time, for always picking me up, even when I couldn't pick up myself. And now I'm so connected to my God that, and trust me, everyone has their own beliefs, and I'm not knocking it because obviously, Lord Ganesha here, he's my man. I believe in so much more because it is limitless. Everyone tells me stories like, oh, this happened to me. I must sound crazy. Actually, no, you don't. Um, Anything is possible. I don't doubt anything anymore. And it's beautiful to be able to feel into that energy because when I know that the universe is limitless, I know that I am limitless. And the only thing that will hold me back is myself and my beliefs. So as long as I stay aware, then I am able to constantly realign. The moment that I feel myself slipping, or I start getting in my head, or I start fearing things, I can honestly look at myself, say, okay, I acknowledge this feeling, what it's coming from, why I'm feeling this way, and I release it and I choose to realign with love every single time. Okay? Being aware of ourselves, when we get to a higher vibration and we're able to stay in that neutral place where we can feel and embrace and, still stay grounded, then we can look at ourselves in a unconditional form where it's like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, that baggage came up, but I got to deal with it. So let's deal with it real quick. Talk to Dr. Jess. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. And I mean, it is one of those things where we have to be able to feel. We have to be able to be aware enough to say, hey, like, listen, if you did not feel anything, you would not be human. You wouldn't. And that's the thing. Most of the time, what happens is we're either living in the past or the future. If we are living in this present moment and we are truly aligned with the universe, then we will be at peace because we understand that whatever is happening for our highest good. And so when it comes to, listen, okay, and especially with the different astrological shifts and everything, because we are human, because we still have things that, need to be dealt with, and that's perfectly fine. And like I said, I learn lessons every day. But especially around the astrological shifts, there are certain things that come up for everyone because that's what they're there for. Like, I truly believe that if we didn't have the astrological shifts that, really bring about the things that we probably wouldn't normally look at, because if we stay in, like, for me, I try to stay in that neutral environment and I do best there. Okay. So if I stay in a neutral environment and say, like, okay, so when the new moon went into Scorpio, I did. I was like totally in my head and like, I don't even know where this is coming from. Like, why do I feel so emotional? And I did. I had to dig in deep because there were things that I was fearing at the moment because of certain situations. So then I had to ask myself, well, why am I really feeling this way? And what it actually made me realize is that even though the situation at hand, like, okay, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. With me going through my separation and me having 3 stepchildren, I'm still very close to my stepdaughters. Well, I'm phasing out of that life. And even though with us being close, like I still had a control issue about if I don't see them once a week, they're going to forget about me. Well, then it became, I realized I was chasing them and that they are teenagers and they have their own lives. And, you know, I chose to leave that situation because it was unhealthy for me. And even though I love them and I know they love me, it doesn't mean that if I don't see them every week that they're going to forget about me. That was just my fear. And when my birthday came around and they forgot, it hit a nerve. And so what happened was, oh my God, they don't love me anymore. And I did. I was totally vulnerable, and I'm being vulnerable with you right now. It did. It struck a chord. And listen, my birthday wasn't that long ago, y'all. So, I mean, I still go through these things right there with you. But I actually almost went into an egoic mode like, oh, I should call them out on this. No, no. And I felt my way through it. The next time I saw them, you know, my oldest stepdaughter, she was totally cool and came to see me, like pushed her way through a crowd to make sure she saw me. And I was like, okay, we're good. The next time, my youngest stepdaughter ended up calling me and she was perfectly fine. We talked for an hour. We even went to dinner the other night. So it's not that they don't love me, they just have their own things going on. And because I'm not an active part of their everyday life, things get hectic. And I know how that family is. So it was my fear trying to push me away from them. And even with, yes, it sucks that I'm not going to be a active part of their life anymore, but they know that they can call on me anytime they need to. And I will pick up that phone and I will be there for them and vice versa. So I understand that when they get older and, you know, they will truly have more of a mind for themselves and not have so much conditioning going on, we will probably be way closer than we even are now. And I'm okay with that. So we have to look at what is that fear doing to us. It totally wrecked my day. And I was in my head for one day and I thought I was going to lose it. So what I had to understand that with me trying to stay an active part of their life, it was actually causing more drama because then, you know, never mind. I'm not even going to say that because I don't know if any of them will watch this, but it made it for a difficult situation, and I don't want to have to put them in a situation where they either have to lie or sneak or, you know, not be honest. Okay, I don't want to put them in that position. I love them too much for that. So I understood that I had to take a step back. And for me, I've always wanted to be a mom and I can't. I had a hysterectomy at 26. So these are pretty much the closest thing I'll ever have to my own kids. I don't know what, you know, that is in store for me, but from what I've learned, this is not my only life doing this. Um, and because I am a medium and I am here to do this with y'all, then it's not a part of my plan to have children. And once I learned that, I was way more okay with it because I suffered for years with it, y'all. Exactly. And they know that. I've always been that constant for them. And that's why they respect me on the level that they do. And I respect them for it because they see no matter what has been said about me or what anyone else feels about me, they know the authentic side of me and they know that I'm there for them no matter what. So I had to stay to my authentic self and not deter from who I really am. And that's what I want y'all to do for yourselves. Even in that moment of fear when you feel that you're either being rejected or not loved, and everyone's situation is going to be different, but that is just one example that I went through recently that tried to cause fear to create distance, to create separation. And it's not that they can't be a part of my life or I can't be a part of theirs. It's just creating some distance and allowing me to trust that no matter what, we still love each other. And I'm okay with that. As I love them and they love me. And that is what it boils down to. We have to love each other, even if there are certain things, like even my ex, I still do. Even with everything that happened, I pray for him all the time. Okay. So it's not that I don't love him or that I wish that things could have been different, but my life was not aligning with his anymore, and we were growing apart because I was on a fast track to do this, and I was so distracted because I was codependent and he was too, that it became toxic, and my fear ended up getting in the way. So all these changes happened like within a year of each other, y'all. My job of 6 years, I managed for 2. I left that job for something that was way slower and was able to get me to do this. And then within a year of me leaving that job, which was a huge deal for me, I ended up leaving my marriage. So, you know, we do. We put things on a pedestal. We have these unhealthy attachments to things, and it creates this point where we're not sure of the changes that we need to make. But if we trust in the universe and allow ourselves to go through the necessary changes, then we can come out on top. And I can't regret anything that I have done, because even with everything that has happened, I know that I stayed to my integrity. I know that I stayed to my truth. And I can't say that any of that I would change, because if it weren't for that relationship, I would not have gone through my awakening, y'all. Through that heartache, through that pain, holding on for dear life when everything in my body was telling me to go, I had to wake up. I had to get to the point where I'm like, okay, Jess, what are you going to do? And I was led to a class where I did a soul retrieval on myself. I let the courage out that I've been holding back for so long. And I literally was looking dead in my face. Like, my other half was looking me in the face and said, I need you to focus on you. Get back to yourself. Okay. So we took a journey, and we're still taking one. So this is what we need to do as empaths, as spiritual beings. We need to love ourselves. We need to love our journey and everything that we have been through, because we can't be healers if we don't know what pain is. And without going through these changes, we would still be the same. And I can tell you right now, I was a hot fucking mess back then. So if I didn't change, if I did not go through the healing process that I went through all the pain, literal pain that I went through, due to heartbreak, to health issues, everything in between, I would not be here talking to you right now. I would not have the courage to get on YouTube and start a channel. Are you kidding me? I would have never done this. Totally outside my comfort zone, and I love it. Now I couldn't think of anything else I'd rather be doing, and I finally found my purpose. So how can I regret any of it? I can't. Because it all makes sense now. And that's what we need to do. We need to look at ourselves and how far we have come, give ourselves a pat on the back, and understand that if we don't like what's happening in our lives, we're the only ones that can change it. We have to get in touch with ourselves, get in touch with our guides, ask for the necessary guidance for what is our highest good, what is our purpose, and what are we willing to do about it? What are we willing to do about it? Because I can tell you, the longer you stay in fear, the longer you stay in inaction, the longer that we deny our purpose and our worth, the longer we are lost. And I suggest everyone have the courage to step into the light and shine the light on the darkest parts of your soul and do the necessary healing, and understand that your guides are with you every single day, every step of the way, and that they will never, ever let you down. When you feel like you have hit your rock bottom, they will be there to pick you up. I promise that. So I will say that I know I told y'all I was going to go to 4:30, but I can't do that today. Or not 4:30, 5:30. But I just want you to know how much you are deeply loved, how much you are deeply appreciated, and how worthy you are of happiness. It is your birthright to be happy, and don't accept anything less, because when we accept settling, we are sabotaging ourselves. We are sabotaging our path. And yeah, see, and that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm sorry, I don't even know how to pronounce your Boxa. I like that. I am unemployed. I am stronger, healthier than I have ever been, happiest. People that I interview with find me the Abby normal. It's surreal. And that is exactly what I'm saying. Even when you, like, there are these changes happening in your life, and of course, anyone being unemployed, especially at a time like we are in, is very scary. But it is giving you the opportunity to get in touch with yourself and getting you away from the negative energy that you were probably in before. So you're raising your vibration by giving yourself this opportunity. And trust me, and that's exactly what happened to me. I had to go through that process about 3 months. I was looking and looking and looking and could not find a job to save my life. And I go to a continuing education class, and the lady that owns the salon I'm working for now, like, she just popped in my lap. We were supposed to go with someone, both of us, and the other people bailed on us. So we were both at this class alone. We were taking a break. We started talking, decided to go to lunch. She was like, "So where do you work?" And I was like, "Actually, I'm in between jobs." She goes, "Well, I'm trying to fill a chair. You want to come work with us? Come check it out?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I go there. I love it. I love her. I've been there for over a year and have not had one issue. And I'm actually moving in with her next month. So the signs and synchronicities, like, she literally fell in my lap and I took it. And even with that, like, when she asked me, "I need a roommate, would you be interested in moving in with me?" And I'm like, "Okay, like, yeah, that feels good. Let's do it." I didn't even go look at it until yesterday. I mean, seriously, we've been talking about it for months, and I just trust that this is, as long as it keeps feeling right to me, I'm going to do it. And it's a good deal. I don't plan on being here for too long anyway, because I know my guides are pushing me towards the mountains in order to do these spiritual retreats to help people get in touch with nature and with themselves and have a physical place of community and loving and living off the land. This is where my path is leading me, and I know it. So I might not even be here in South Carolina for another year or so. I keep seeing 2020. So whatever that looks like, I don't know. How am I going to get there? Not sure. And even with, me moving out, I truly might not have, you know, I mean, I have money, but it's not like I have just laying around and a ton of money sitting in the account. But I know that my guides will provide for me in a way that I will be able to meet my needs. I know they will. I have no doubt. So, with that, that's where the trust needs to come in. The more we doubt, the more we fear, the worse it's going to get. So, it's to the point where, okay, y'all, and I mean, I've actually said this to them before, so try it sometime. I don't know what you want from me, but I know this is not working. So, whatever you need to do to align me with my higher purpose for what is my highest good, I will accept the opportunities that you lay before me. And you do it. When they lay in your lap and it feels good, you go for it. If it doesn't work out, you learn something from it. So either way, you can't go wrong. And as long as you are living from your heart space, you're doing the right thing. Okay? Don't be afraid to inspire and to believe in yourself to make the necessary changes to make your situation better. Okay? Even if you think, like I was thinking the 9 to 5 desk job was going to be good for me. Can y'all imagine me sitting at a desk doing a 9 to 5? Like I'd be freaking miserable. So this is what I'm talking about exactly. And I actually used to say that, what was it? It's either going to be a lesson or an opportunity. Now it's every lesson is an opportunity for me to find something about myself. And that's what it is. It allows me to get to know myself on a deeper level. So, and I love that because it's the first time I've ever been able to look at myself and say, wow, Jess, you have grown. You you are making some very big changes in your life and I'm proud of you. So I'm okay with that. I'm beautiful with that actually. And now I have this Whispers of Grace family and I love getting on here and talking to y'all and being a part of this whole journey. It's just beautiful. I couldn't ask for a better crowd and I just thank y'all so much for supporting me and being here, allowing me to do my thing and allowing me to help you in the process because like I said, if I hadn't been through all this stuff, I couldn't help y'all get through it. And this is where I belong and I know it because every time I get on here with y'all, I feel the energy exchange and I know that y'all are vibing right there with me and I love that because I feel that everyone should be vibrating at this frequency, that we should all be here for each other and inspire and uplift and truly make some necessary changes so we can all say we did this together. So please trust in your journey, trust in yourself, and don't let anything or anyone stand in your way. Okay. I love you guys so much. And like I said, I know I said I was going to go to 5:30, but I am going to a dream circle. So I just want to say that for all of you who have joined in today and all of you that will watch this later, I love you so much and you are important, you are amazing, and you are totally worth it. So just understand that I will always be here for y'all and you're amazing and I love y'all so much and I really could not do this without y'all. So if you know anyone that needs to hear this and could resonate with this, please send it their way. Tell people, let's get this community even bigger than it already is. allow the opportunities to come in, allow the change to happen, and embrace your journey for the beautiful path that it is. I love y'all so much, and I will talk to you soon. Y'all have a good night. Bye.